All right, we are back. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope everybody's had a really good week. Love those intros. Always gonna knock a ring or something on the intro. But happy Friday, gang. Hope everybody's having a good week. We are back with another Figure Friday. This time it's not gonna be a Fine Art Friday. We're gonna be doing another figure character, recognizable character. We'll see. And then we'll be back next week for Gestural Monday. We have a video coming out this week. We'll be posting a blog today as well. All sorts of fun stuff. We finished up our coconut painting on Wednesday, so be sure to check that out. Our last two streams have been drawing and painting our nice little pet coconut painting. So that came out really fun. Really enjoyed the process there. And today we're going to do about 2 hours if we can. Hour and a half. An hour at least. 2 hour goal, probably an hour and a half realistically. So we're gonna go from there. We're gonna jump right in and get started in this painting. We have a nice little drawing prepped and ready to go, and it's gonna be a fun piece. We're gonna have fun with it. We're gonna add a lot of colors like we talked about. We're gonna turn a lot of forms and make a lot of shapes with colors that are gonna be the correct value, because the values are similar. So we're gonna change with the colors, so it's a fun one today. And we'll get right into it, because normally I just talk too much. But if you're enjoying the content, if you're enjoying the channel, please like and subscribe down below. I think we're almost at 500 subs, which is pretty exciting, and the goal is 1,000. So 500's halfway. Let's hit it. So appreciate that love, appreciate the support, and let's get right into it here. Easy enough. Yes, Eddie Brock, aka Venom. Great little movie, but better character. We're gonna jump right in here, and let's see. We have the drawing pretty set, prepped, ready to go. It looks kind of dark, but I don't think it is. And so, like we said, it's a lot of dark, just pretty much dark blues, black values, dark values. There is a decent amount of value change, which is pretty cool to have. But hold on, I have to move this one thing here. Sorry. Okay, just making the reference bigger. Never worry about your reference unless you're going an exact reference replica. Always just push the size of your reference. You can just see more. But either way, see more. See more butts. No, we're moving past that. That was a bad joke. Black highlight, dark values, and then it does turn to light because the lighting source is above, so it is showing a bit of a light. And again, he's a symbiote. You know anything about Venom, which is like slimy, liquidy sort of texture, so it's all very reflective as well. We were almost gonna go in with, maybe we should. We're almost gonna go in with a masking fluid. But I'm squinting down, and none of it's like a full white. Is all sort of in here, so we might just try to leave some of it and not get paint there, but we'll see. We'll see. We are going to lift it a little again. That worked, right? Yeah. Maybe we'll just work flat right now. Because I guess when at these early stages, I'm just wetting it. I kind of do want it to work somewhat uniform, but that's also why you tilt it. So it's all relative. Sorry if the music's been too loud. Cool, there's not that bad of a glare up there. It's pretty nice. Kind of putting a lot of water down where I want right now. I talk about it quite a bit. I don't have necessarily a full formula or routine that I practice all the time. I just kind of enjoy the process of each piece. Each individual piece is very different, you know. There's not a right or a wrong way. I just kind of enjoy the shape making, enjoy the process. I talk about it a lot. I enjoy the design aspect. So I'm working representationally, but I'm also very much designing the canvas and the paper, right? Closer. Okay, cool. So I am wetting the paper with a little bit of awareness, I guess. Paper will still bleed into the dry areas, but not quite as much. But it will still, either way, the water will spread, the moisture will spread. And it'll still pretty much fill in a lot of those dry areas anyway, but I like wetting it with a little bit of strategy and technique here and there. Not technique, because there's no technique. Planning. I very much start planning at this point. Just like with oil painting, if you start with a textured canvas or a textured canvas, you already have an interesting wash, right? So you can start a painting very early. I literally at the prep stage of the canvas or the water stage of the watercolor. It only makes the rest of the painting easier if you start correctly. Let that dry a little bit. I don't want too much standing water. But similar to the coconut watercolor piece, if you check that out, we do want the paper fairly wet, very wet. Fairly saturated here. I kind of take a little bit longer on the watering stage, which again, we'll see, whatever. Like I say, I talk about, I don't totally have a full process, like a formulaic process down. So it's always changing and evolving, and it might continue to change consistently, hopefully. I am going to raise it. That's what we used last time to make it look like somewhat normal. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Cool. We won't pull it that far down. We'll put it more up here. Okay. So it is tilted now. Keep that in mind. I'm gonna go over it once more with one more layer of water here. Now that it's tilted, it's going to kind of lean down and start doing what it wants to do, which is kind of nice. So we'll get very natural marks here and drying almost. At this point, the paper is very saturated. You can see it slowly starting to move. It is 140-pound paper. But you can really push this paper very far with water. There, we're probably gonna have to come in with a lot of yeah, because it's not a perfect white, so we'll just have to come in with it after. I'm trying to see if I want to go with I guess now it's too late. I was kind of mentally thinking if maybe I should go in with masking fluid, but I wouldn't let it dry now at this point. That would be crazy. The starting wash is going to be a little bluish green, maybe, I'm thinking. Always very well, that's pretty saturated, I guess, But I was gonna say it's always very light at the beginning. Yeah. And what I'm gonna do is go through the whole thing with the color, leave spots white. I'm gonna pick up a little purple here and there too, actually. Especially as I turn towards the light here in some of these colors. So this is like we've talked, like we kind of used a similar palette for our water Wednesday painting, right? Where we had some of these nice crystal blues that were kind of working as the highlights, I guess we can call it. And then we went in with purples and darker magentas and kind of continued to work out the structure of the piece. But we really liked these nice crystal blues. Back to it. So we're just trying to get different colors down for our first wash. This is probably going to dry a little bit different. Well, not probably. They'll always dry different than it looks right now. I want these to be more green. Like we talked about too, there's not really, I mean, I have a goal in mind, right? I have an idea of what I want it to look like. But as I go and as I work, that's going to change significantly. It might not. I guess I shouldn't say it like it's definitely going to happen, but that can change fairly significantly. And you just want to stay open and keep, like I've talked about the other day, being conscious of each stroke you put down. So each mark in watercolor, it's a little easier because it kind of, well, sometimes a little more difficult, I guess, too. But I was going to say a little easier because it all starts to meld together. But that might make it tougher, too. So what I am going to bring in here, want a little more blue, a little bit grayish. But seeing that dry area, it might go down a little darker than I want. It's kind of okay though. I'm gonna put this down and just pick it right back up. That'll work. Thought I had a bit of water up here, but I guess I obviously did not. Interesting. It's Friday, you know, that's what happens on a Friday. You never know. Now I want to keep this side a little darker to keep the turn there. Gonna put in some yellow where these lights are. Kind of gonna play with that, like I talked to in the beginning, the color. Be a lot of greens, a lot of highlights. And a lot of light blues throughout this piece. And I don't know, I just kind of feel like it needs a little bit of balance. Otherwise the whole thing's about to get super cool, like bluish. We can put some of these in here, not there, obviously. Cool. not gonna go nuts with that. But I did want to put a little bit in there because it just felt like it was gonna get too cool if I didn't. Cool not being like, oh man, that's cool. Cool like temperature, cold. Gonna look like lipstick until I dial that in. We probably won't. I'm being optimistic, but we might not. We probably won't finish this in like the session today, just time wise. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I say that and then I finish things a lot. Because I'm always I wonder if I should just put my light here so that when I look, I just had like a little light bulb go off here. This will definitely be a piece that we come back in with a lot of gel pen and whites, highlights, drawing, cleaning up afterwards. That's just very much how we work, so. I don't know if that's a watercolor thing or again, if I can't tell if I'm kind of working in that way because that's how I work, or if the watercolor is just lending itself to me working in that style. I don't know. Enjoying it though. It's like the exact, yeah, you can kind of see it. Exact color we need here. We don't want to go that dark yet. Actually, might jump right into it here. This might be a good piece to jump right in and almost have it next. Like level of dry now. I don't know what the terminology is gonna be there. Sorry, gang. Or I almost think I can start dialing a lot of this in. Maybe not. Let's slow down. Let's work it how it works here. Always checking values, shapes, the color, the marks that I put down. Sometimes I'm checking more often, depending on what I'm putting down. Sometimes I'm checking each mark. Sometimes I'm checking every few. Sometimes I forget, don't check it all. It's all relative. This whole bottom side's gonna be darker. Need to get a bigger brush here. I know it's crazy. I have 30 brushes behind me and I don't have the one I need. It's unacceptable. Need a nice brush. Yeah, like that. Gonna put down some nice big marks here. Gonna be this blue for a while. That's why I kind of just keep putting it down. I'm gonna be able to change up the texture, not the texture, but the values and colors a bit more as it continues to settle for me. Just a little bit here or there. And so what I'm going to try to do here also is I'm going to try to pick some of this up. Kind of want the dark blue to turn into a lighter value with this turquoisey color. So I'm kind of trying to scuff this in here. See how it looks. But what I am thinking is gonna work is what I'm about to do. So we'll just let it happen here. Sorry if I get quiet. I'm just working always. Always. I'm always here. That's why I like having the camera on me so that you know I'm not just like not here. But I am always here, always working and painting. That we're gonna make work. It's in the picture. I don't know totally what it is, but I'm assuming it's gonna make sense after I do the things in front of it. All right, cool. All right, cool. I want to go like this. See how much of this we can pick up now and shape our structure like this. See if we can't get lucky. And no? No, it's not luck. I'm sure it's not luck. It's not really a luck thing. It's just trying different techniques, right? Why not? There's no reason not to. I want this piece to be nice and loose, enjoyable. So I'm kind of trying to lay down colors in big spots, big shapes. There is value to the piece, so I'm definitely trying to turn some values here now. And the funnest part is going to be filling everything in afterwards, especially when it comes to the pen and ink that we can have fun with. And the gel pen part of it, where it's all going to bring the teeth out. It's very nice. Very nice. Might repeat this another step as we get a little drier here, because it's kind of giving a nice little texture to them, kind of like I was hoping it would, because it's similar to how he is. He's just very dry, spotty. Cool. I like that. I like that a lot. This is all pretty wet still all through here. But I think if I like start working from the bottom up, it will pick up all the moisture down here, you know what I mean? I don't know. Makes sense to me. But see how his face is already kind of formed just from the little bit of value changes that we've just been able to achieve here. I mean, it's still super loose, but in comparison to when it was all just the same blue, it's very different. Maybe not, I don't know. I don't want this here if I can help it. Cool. Okay. Okay. That's way too much pigment. Far too saturated. Still too much, a little too much. Just gonna add more water. I don't mind using too much water still, but I don't want the pigment to be super overbearing quite yet. I want it to stay pretty loose and light right now. Especially because I just like to layer colors in a bit more in I don't know, a little bit more oil painterish way. I'm not sure if that's true. It might be a watercolor thing. But I kind of like a lot of these early colors I then kind of cover up and use transparently, which I guess watercolors are transparent. I'm not sure how much layering there is. Which I think is important, because I think that's also how your watercolors will stay fresh. But I just like the look of you can achieve when you kind of have some colors shining through and you see that transparency in the final piece, you know? So I don't want any of those pieces to have that edge. See, like this edge here, I don't want that yet. So I'm trying to break it up. I don't mind if it's a smaller shape that has an edge, but I don't want that big piece to have an edge quite yet. I need this blue a little darker now. Again, you do need to hit your value at some point. Whoa, that's a little too dark, but that's okay. It's really not actually, but for right now it is. It's actually close to the value that I have to put there. But for now, we're going to keep sneaking up on it here. Sneaking up. Especially as the paper dries, the more pigment you put down, it's going to get a little bit more, it's going to get far more opaque. Just like if you put watercolor on dry paper, it'll be like a full dark color paint, right? It's not going to be super transparent. The water is what makes the paint transparent. Kind of changing the color here and there, as you can tell, just a little bit, kind of shifting its temperature. And I'm trying to keep it the same value, but kind of play with the temperature a little bit, and have that, you know, kind of just show a little bit more interesting dark areas, rather than paint this all out in like a nice navy blue. There's colors in the darks, right? Just like there's color in light. There's a lot of color in these darks. There always is. That's why so many people will say not to use like a black from the tube, you know what I mean? You use, kind of mix up your black, and in doing so you have more transparency and more depth to it. Pretty true, pretty true. The hard value that's the hardest value to keep is the kind of greenish blue one, because it just looks a little bit brighter and more vibrant. It's kind of why I wanted it to be in some of the lighter areas. But it's the trickiest color to keep the same value, that's for sure. No, it's gonna be over here. Kind of like the purple too. It kind of reminds me of like the old comic book Venom. I guess he was probably kind of more purplish and blue, but still. Keeping a lot of water on the palette so that it stays very loose for right now. I'll go in there with some nice dark values again, of course, but I wanted to clean that up there. You can leave that. That'll dry fine. Yeah. There's a clicking in this song that I promise is not in the background of my studio. Very much sounds like it is actually, though. Come in there with some like some of the sky blue that we've talked about, some of that nice crystal blue, not a sky blue, I guess, more of a crystal blue. That sound, I keep thinking it's actually in the background of my studio. That's crazy. Ever kind of feel like that, maybe? I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see how that looks. Just kind of trying something there. All right, cool. Let's. I think we're starting to get to where these marks are gonna start sitting very nicely and not like spreading and evaporating too much. Guess we should pull that right up because it is that same value almost. Has to be that nice dark value there. Yeah, I like that I can talk from back here, but it must sound kind of echoey, I think. Would be my guess. So now we can pick it up again. It's kind of the same way we did before. And get a little bit of that like skin texture that he has. Kind of a nice little technique there. Sorry, I don't know what that was. Sometimes I think people like try to open our door instead of the stairs. I think that's what just happened. The stairs are right next to our door. So I'm thinking that's what that noise was. I don't know, I heard a very loud noise and the dogs went nuts. Dogs always go nuts, but there's different levels, as people with pets probably know. Dude. Computer, show me front door. Sorry guys, hold on. All right, nothing seems to be happening. Leave that camera on for now. All right. All right, where were we now? What's happening? See, so again, I'm just kind of picking up some of this, some of the paint that I put down, and kind of playing with the values that way. Not playing with the values, getting the values I want. And it also is leaving a nice little texture on this piece, because of how his skin sort of is just like, kind of like a liquid skin. Not liquid, but it's like wet all over, you know? Slimy. Slimy is the word. Yeah, he's probably pretty slimy. Really nice brush. I don't know where this came from. I feel like I haven't had it this whole time, but it's really nice. Kind of nice being able to see the door. No, we can't hear. We don't have to hear. We can just see. We can just listen. Well, I guess we can't listen if we can't hear it, right? Still working very loose with both the paint and marks here. Just building up the values, really building up the values. There's a little bit of, again, it's not like a scary image, but he's definitely a intimidating Venom. And we're not exactly gonna go for that, but we're gonna go for like we've talked and worked, illustrative. Do you know what I mean? So keeping it loose, keeping it fun, old colors, old marks. Old lines, all that fun stuff. So we're gonna be doing a little bit of rinsing and repeat here, where we kind of put marks down, put things down and pick them up, so that we get that nice textured layering. I don't know if there's another way to really achieve that. I'm sure there is. But I like how it dries in spots like that. And then it's starting to dry areas too that I have to work in anyway, so it's working. No complaints, you know? Kind of like that purple over here. I like these purple and I like this purple and blue color palette. Memphis Lakers game 6 tonight in LA. Oh man, what a big game. Memphis can take this. Oh baby. They could, that's the series, could be. But I don't know if they will. Be interesting. I don't think they will, but I believe they will. Is that allowed? That makes sense, yeah, right? I don't know. I'm very happy I left this thing tilted. I almost straightened it out and I would have been sad. I don't want too much of that saturated on the bottom. I like how it kind of looks like he's how he's lit from underneath. That's pretty nice. Or at least that there's a glow there, right? It's too much. Okay. It's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Da da da. This will be a long piece of just layering, pretty much. Just keep building up all those shapes, much like watercolor is. Watercolor is one of those things that the more detailed it gets, which you don't have to necessarily stay, again, we're always trying to keep it simple. Like we talked about, telling the most with the least amount of marks. But when things get complicated and technical, you still have to show a certain amount, right? And in watercolor, that kind of just alludes to a little bit more time because you have to let it dry and work in between. You can blow dry certain areas, which works, but still only to a certain extent, right? So it's funny when they go from super fast watercolor studies, which they are, to being a little bit longer because they're, you know, a little bit more detailed. I don't want that to all blend together. I don't mind if that sort of mixes in here and there. Kind of leaving certain edges that are already dry, kind of dry, you know? Don't mind that look. TBH. White around there, kind of missed that. It's okay. It's going to be a lot of gel pen and additives needed, like paint, white paint, or again, gel pen, white ink, I should say. Actually, haven't used white paint in a while. I've been using definitely a lot of white ink. We'll see how much of that we show. That's the other fun part we like to focus on. We talk about a bit. like that line there. Gotta get rid of that. Okay. See, there's gonna be a lot that we have to pull out here. That's all right though. Pick some of that up. Pick some of this up here. Pick some of this up here. That all looks like it's just too saturated for me. It's gonna start losing that. Yeah, it's gonna start losing that pigment. It's all right, actually. It looks okay. I don't hate it, surprisingly enough. I don't hate it. I must have been like holding the brush weird this whole time. I'm gonna do that all with a nice pen too, so it'll have really nice sort of like looping feel. Like it's symbiotic. I don't know if that's the word. Feels like it is actually the word, but get these eyes correct. Okay. Still a little too wet. All right, we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break and come back, see what we can make happen after it dries for a few more minutes here. Kind of coming together nicely, actually. Real nice. Sometimes you get this nice texture timing of the paper, but I think certain spots are still too saturated to do what I kind of want to do. The jeans aren't restricting. Oh man, I've been watching too much Always Sunny. Unfortunate. Good, pretty good actually. Know my art, you know there might be a little bit of a composition I'm kind of trying to create here. You might see it already, you might not, but we'll see. Time will tell. It's always like playing with that composition of like less is more, you know? Kind of the opposite of how much can I get away with. It's like how little can I get away with? Because I think it just tells more of a story, right? I don't know. Gotta get that other eye squared away here, but I think I should take 5. Has to be, yeah, an hour. Yeah. I started kind of right away today, right? I feel like I did. Soon we can come through with all some nice white marks to make all these highlights pop. Oh yeah, it's gonna look real cool. So for the big value shapes, I'm always just squinting down, and if it looks, again, it's all relative how loose you want to get, right? If it looks close to one shape, make it one shape, make it that simple. And then you work around and you keep sort of getting more in depth and more in depth and more. Take a quick 5 here. Dab 2 spots here. Dab that a little bit. Pick that up. Pick that up. All right. 5-minute break. We'll be right back. We can go for like another 30 minutes or so, but I have to take a 5-minute break quick. Yeah. And then we'll be right back, gang. Appreciate that love. Appreciate the support. Oh, I don't like that. Like and subscribe if you are liking the channel, if you like the content, and or if you just want to support the arts. We'll be back 5 minutes. Much love, baby. All right, you guys, we are back. We are actually going to be wrapping it up there. I didn't realize what time it was. I thought it was significantly earlier. I'm sorry, you guys. I did not realize how late it was. We're going to be wrapping up this stream there. We'll be recording and finishing this up for sure, and/or we'll be back live finishing it up. I'm not sure yet. We'll be posting all about it. Be sure to check our link in the description. Join the Discord. Follow the socials. Be sure you don't miss the creation if it's there and/or the recording of it. So until next time, I hope everybody has a great weekend. And until then, until Monday, Gestural Mondays, we'll be back sketching and drawing and having fun. Stay healthy and stay happy. Much love, gang.